Hello everybody, welcome to DryerDays Art Studio. I'm Catherine. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm going to be working on this heart. Yes, this is the same heart, front and back. You can see how they are both very different looking, but I think equally gorgeous. I used all products from my store, DryerDaysArtStudio.com, including the mold used to make this. You can see that here. So I'm going to kind of go through this pretty quick because this was pretty quick and easy, and I just want to explain my process. I posted this on Instagram and mentioned that I just really love with resin that you can make little small gift size like items like this all the way up to really large scale lavish pieces, and I love when I'm needing a little inspiration to work on small pieces like this because it really gets my creative juices flowing. I love working with different colors, and this color combo is one of my favorites. So as you saw there, I just did a thin clear coat first, got it all up in the sides and edges, just going to hit it with a little bit of heat. And now I'm going to add just a little bit more clear. And we're going to be using rose gold, my matte white antique lace pigments. We're also going to use some of my gold alcohol ink, which is brand new to my store, and also going to be using my True Love biodegradable glitter. This is one of my top sellers. It sells out really quick. It has been sold out, but I have it fully in stock now if you want to check that out. We're just going to give a nice quick mix there of the antique lace. I'm going to start laying it in here. So you might have noticed the underside or the front facing part of this piece kind of had a real like cell kind of broken up look. That is achieved by laying down that layer of clear first. That's going to give you that look. And I'm just going to kind of go around, fill up the space here a little bit with just that antique lace and the rose gold. And hit it with some heat here. That's to pop any bubbles and to kind of mesh the colors together a little bit more. And then this is the matte white that I wanted to use to break it up a little bit. I'm also going to be using a spray bottle with rubbing alcohol on it to sort of spritz the surface of the mold to help pop any micro bubbles, but also kind of give some cool effects too in the pigments. And I like to use the heat gun as I go. Since we keep incorporating in resin, it's good to sort of stay on top of the bubbles or any new bubbles that we're incorporating into the piece as we move along. I was really curious as to how the gold was going to go, the gold alcohol ink with the rest of this. So this was a little bit of an experiment, but it worked really well. And that is the gold alcohol ink mixed in resin right there. The alcohol ink mixed into the resin gives a really nice airy feel. A lot of times with my gold metallic pigment, it's an aluminum base, it's really heavy, so it can kind of give that heavy feel. It can sort of take over or make other pigments sink. And this alcohol ink mixed in with the resin is so light that it really just sat right here. It didn't sink too much to the bottom. It didn't mess with the other pigments. So I appreciated that and enjoyed using that in this piece. And this is that True Love sparkler. This is a biodegradable glitter, so that means it's good for the environment. So people ask me about that all the time. Does it break down in the resin or anything? I vet out all of my biodegradable glitters to make sure that they are solvent resistant and not going to break down in the resin. And so the biodegradable aspect just means that, let's say you've got a handful of glitter or you got it on yourself or something and you need to go wash your hands and it gets down in the drain or it goes in the trash or whatever, it will break down naturally in the environment. Whereas plastic or polyester glitter will probably outlive all of us. So the biodegradable glitter, it tends to be a little bit pricier because it is a little bit harder to come by, and I do make all of the sparklers myself, so you can only find the True Love biodegradable glitter at DryerDaysArtStudio.com. And here I've just been incorporating back in some of my other colors like the rose gold and the antique lace, just going around filling in these spots in the same sections per color, and just going to keep doing that until I fill the mold out pretty well here. I'm going to leave a little bit of room. I'm not going to fill it all the way to the top. There's that matte white again. Now this is the matte white pigment. It's a dry pigment, and so I do mention this every time I use it, but you want to put it in a little bit into a paper cup like I have there. Break it up a little bit with your popsicle stick, and then maybe give it one spritz of alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and then kind of mix it with your stick to make it almost sort of like a paste before you add your clear resin to that matte white. It just helps break it up a little bit so you're not going to have chunks of white, makes it nice and milky and creamy, and it's just easier to work with. I have rubbing alcohol in my spray bottle anyway because I use it to spray all of my pieces, so I have it handy right there that I can just spray it right into the little paper cup, and it works out nicely. Gonna finish out here with a little drizzle of clear. As you can see there, it's given some cool layering effects. I'm also going to try to add in a little bit more of my True Love biodegradable glitter. I had gotten a little bit distracted while making this piece and had to run out of the room for a few minutes, so my resin really was starting to cure up and get thick. So you're going to see that here in a second when I try to add a little bit more of the True Love biodegradable glitter back down onto the piece. Yeah, see? I want to encourage you though, if this type of thing is happening and you're like, oh no, this is my last little bit of resin, I just want to finish this piece, just keep going. Just keep going. You'll see where a lot of this got on the rim of my mold and where I had to clean it up later, but I was able to at least scrape some out of this, get it on my piece. It was nice and thick, so the True Love biodegradable glitter sat right on top and it finished beautifully. So just take the panic out of it and everything will be okay, I promise. So here I'm just going to take a gold metallic marker and create a couple of lines here just for a little bit more veining, just to make the piece a little bit more interesting and pleasing to the eye. And I'm just eyeballing this where I think I can add a couple of things to maybe where there's like a blank spot or just a little bit of a boring space. And after I do add these lines, I am going to do a little flood coat on the inside of this. So I just mixed up a very little amount of clear resin and added that in. I did not get that on camera, so I just wanted to mention it now. This was a really fun little piece to make, and you saw how quickly I did it, only using a couple of products. I never realized how much I loved pink and gold together until I made that True Love biodegradable sparkler and mixed the pink and gold together. It's just such a lovely combo. I've had people order this size tray from me before, this heart shape, and they say they use it on their coffee table and they'll just like put a candle on it or they'll put the remote on it or whatever for the TV. They said it's just a really nice, cute thing to have in their TV room or even in their little girl's bedroom. I think this would be really cute even in like a bathroom or something like that, depending on the personality and the person. But I'm going to add a little bit of a white line here too. I was off screen kind of looking for my perfect marker, and this is a Sharpie water-based white marker. I chose this one because it had a nice thicker nib tip there, and I wanted a little bit of a more bold line, and I'm kind of going right near and over top of that other white matte pigment that I had in there just to make it pop out and stand out a little bit more. And then, like I said, I will do a flood coat here to protect these lines that I'm drawing. Alright, so let's demold. You can see that beautiful clear flood coat on there. Perfect. Flawless. Now as I demold here, you can already see that we have some edges of resin that went over that top of the mold because I was trying to really get some of that resin in there and it was curing up and really, really sticky. I think this side is so cool too, with those cells that were created by our starting off with that thin clear resin before. So now I want to come over and I want to clean this up. Obviously we're not going to leave this like this, so I'm going to get my crafting nippers here. And any of the tools that you see me using that are not in my store, like my gloves or my respirator or these nippers here, mixing cups, anything. I mean, everything and anything that you need that you see me using, head over to my Amazon shop, which is listed below. I also have my favorite items listed in the description of every video, along with my Amazon shop link. And that just has all of my favorite things, everything that I feel I absolutely have to have in my studio. You definitely want to be wearing PPE, protecting yourself when you're using resin. Please, please, please use gloves, use an organic vapors respirator, pour resin in a well-ventilated area, and keep that area well-ventilated for 24 hours while your piece is curing. That is very important because we are working with chemicals here. So yeah, check out my Amazon if you guys need anything. I am an Amazon affiliate, so I get a little bit of a kickback if you do that. So no pressure, it just helps me out, and I like to help you guys out by letting you know everything that I use. It just makes my life a whole lot easier in my studio, especially like these nippers. I mean, I use these a lot. I use these probably a lot more than you'd think. Somehow here, one of these little pieces got on the surface, and yeah, I'm cringing as I'm doing it too because I'm about to scratch my surface, but I got it off really nicely. So after I do this and I get the big pieces off, I am just gonna come through with a little piece of sandpaper here and just really clean up that edge. And I'm honestly just going right on that edge. I know I'm moving really fast here because I time-lapsed it, but I am being very careful not to get that sandpaper on either the top surface of this piece or even on the side edges. I am just smoothing down that lip, that top part that we just trimmed those sharp edges off. We're making a nice smooth top. Again, being so careful not to scuff up that beautiful clear flood coat that we did on top. And that will finish us out here, and then we will be all done. All right, everybody. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making this adorable little piece here. I mean, this would make a great gift too for someone. Just so pretty. I mean, either side of this. So I'm really glad I did a flood coat on this side so it's nice and protected. And the other side, of course, is going to be protected too because that was our face down part of our mold. So that is good to go. I'll probably let this sit and cure for another 7 to 10 days just to really get nice and hard and scratch resistant. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you did like this video. It's totally free for you and it really helps me out. Come find me on Instagram at DryerDays. And until next time, everybody, keep on pouring.